I remembered my mom saying that you are dirty, you're never gonna get married. So instantly you feel like, oh my god, what have I done? It was at the age of 15 where it happened in a hotel, a budget hotel. I was forcefully persuaded into it. I met him through a mutual friend. He befriended me. He became quite close to me. He called me almost every day to check on me.
My speech began with a video of a young woman named Lisa who was expelled from her own family when she was 15 years old for engaging in sexual activity. Tragically, she made a mistake and ended up committing adultery as a result of being influenced by a social media friend. As a parent or parent-to-be, do you want something similar happen to your own family, to your own kids? No need to respond. Pat your chest and ask yourself. In this video, I will briefly a little bit about sexual education. Are Malaysians ready yet? According to a report on human rights issued by the United States Department of the Interior, Malaysia recorded a total of 28,741 cases of rape between 2015 and 2020. From this number alone, it is estimated that 10 women are raped every day, and half of them are teenagers under the age of 16 years old. It is no longer a petty issue that can be brushed aside, but should be taken more seriously. Every woman involved in a rape case will experience physical, mental, and spiritual effects. It will not go away in a day or two, but maybe years or a lifetime. Nurul Huda Abdul Ghani, a name that was mentioned once upon a time because this child, who was around 11 years old in 2008, was repeatedly raped until she died by a security guard. In addition, 8 years old Nurin Jazimin, who had been reported missing in 2008, was discovered dead body in a bag after being stuffed with cucumber and eggplant into her private part. The same thing happened to two kids, Nurul Nadira Abdullah and Siti Masita, who were found dead with their bodies burned and their organs sold. They were 4 and 11 years old respectively. I think the example of cases that I have highlighted are strongly enough to open your eyes and mind to accept sex education among your kids. Ladies and gentlemen, an unmarried child will be born as the result of sexual activity, and most people will dump the child without guilty. And according to the facts and statistics that provided by the Royal Malaysian Police (PDRM), there was an increase from 2015 to 2019 and a little decline in 2020. But the total number of cases at 652 was still the most ever. Adolescence is the most complicated and challenging time that children have to face. They not only experience physical changes that begin to reveal the characteristics of femininity or masculinity, but also emotional, cognitive, and social. With hormonal changes and a competitive world, they feel that no one understands their feelings, including their parents. So it will cause the extreme pornographic exposure, the growth in rape cases, and HIV or AIDS cases on the rise. Malaysia needs sexual education so that these things can be avoided. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go more deeper about this topic. After years of discussing the need to have sex education in school and especially in Malaysia, it is still not fully accepted. Although many acknowledge the need for sex education for children, there are still parents who are angry when they learn that sex education is taught in school. This anger exists because parents are worried that if children are taught about sex education, their curiosity about it will explode. Then, with the knowledge they have gained, they will try it themselves. Discussions about issues related to sex are very sensitive in Malaysia. It seems to be seen as dirty to be mentioned on the public stage. Even buying a condom at a 7-Eleven store might be seen as a bit odd. A solution can be achieved by introducing sex education in which parents and the government have to play a very important role. Society needs to realize that sex education is wider than what happens in the bedroom as some people think. Sex education is not related to sex alone, but provides early exposure related to human reproductive system, healthcare, and human emotion. According to Hannah Yeo, Deputy Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, in this modern age, teenagers as young as 13 years old already know what sex is, but they need to be given the right information about it. Therefore, teaching in the subject of sex education is very important in conveying something true to our children. This proves that the government strongly encourages sex education to protect the dignity of children. Among the ways to introduce sex education to children are the following suggestions. First of all, teach children the names of private parts of the body. For example, you need to teach your children about the body parts early in their development and don't need to hide or pet them. You can choose an appropriate name or perhaps use the correct terms and body part terms. Avoid by using wrong words that can cause misunderstanding. Secondly, teach children private parts of the body are private. Emphasize to your child that no one can take photos or videos of their private parts. This is because there are many pedophiles out there who are waiting for the opportunity to take nude pictures of children and spread them among themselves for the purpose of fulfilling their lust. Besides, teach your child to know boundaries. For example, teach children not to allow anyone to touch their private parts. However, parents themselves often forgot to teach their children not to touch the private parts of individuals or other children. In addition, teenagers also need to know what is contained in the law related to sex. For example, having sex underage is considered a crime of rape. Many teenagers have sex without knowing this. Likewise, if according to the Sharia criminal law, it is considered adultery and can be punished. Ladies and gentlemen, with the effectiveness of sex education, children are more confident discussing sex issues and complaining about the problems they face or trying to find solutions. Other than that, children can take advantage of their sexual potential in a planned way without harming themselves and their partners. Besides, make children aware of the role and function of men as protectors and guardians of women. Other than that, children can take advantage of their sexual potential in a planned way without harming themselves and their partners. To sum up, I am convinced and believe that each of you wants the best for your child's life. So take action from now to receive sexual education with the right teaching technique for your child's bright future, and sexual education should be applied to children at an early age to avoid negative symptoms such as free sex, promiscuous sex, pregnancy out of wedlock, or more frightening, sexual misconduct against children. That's all from me. Thank you very much and Assalamualaikum.